In this tutorial, I'm going to go through, I'm going to UV unwrap my column that I made. So first thing I'm going to do, if you haven't done this already, right click, unfreeze all, select your background and delete it. I'm going to click on my mesh here, it says column. So if I right click and unhide all, I can do edit, select invert, and you see there's two shapes selected. I'm going to delete those because all I want right now is just my column. All right. So I'm going to provide you this specific column right here. All right. And so what you won't need to do that if you're going through and UV unwrapping your own. You will need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and put an unwrap UVW on here and say open UV editor. I'm going to go ahead and click zoom extents all and zoom out. So this is what you start with. You do have some basic UVs here. So one thing we could do is we could try working with this. Since all these objects, this was made from a spline, this was made from a spline, and so was this. They did start off with some base set of UVs, and so we could try and see if those work. So let's give this a shot. If I look here, I'm going to remove Unwrap UVW, and I'm going to go into Element and click on the top here and say Hide Selected. The top of my column it's open, right, which is good. I don't need to have a polygon there that I'm not going to see, so I'll just unhide everything. So let's click on the word editable poly, make sure we're at the top level, and we're going to put Unwrap UVW on, and I'm going to put Open UV Editor on here, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of my list here to Arrange Elements, and I'm going to click Pack Custom. And that'll come up Options, Preferences, and turn off Selection Preview. And I'm also going to turn off Shows Active Map in the dialog. I don't need that. We're not UV mapping this to a specific set of textures. Nothing's been applied to it. We're just going to unwrap this so that we can generate textures for it. So basically Pack is going to take all my pieces, separate them out like so. What I'm going to do now is go through and start to UV unwrap these different elements, right? Since they're all different, separated. I'm going to go into Edge, and so let's look around. This is the front of our column, right? And so I'm going to orbit around to the back using my orbit tool here. I'm going to go around the back. I'm going to select, one edge here, and then I'm going to use the loop selection to go ahead and grab that entire loop. And now I'm going to come over here and find a rollout called Peel. Right? And so Peel allows me to do things like convert an edge selection to seam. So I click on that, now it turns blue. Look at that. And so if I go into Polygon now, I'm going to expand these so you can see what I'm doing. I can click on one of these polygons and then find this button, which is Expand Polygon Selection to Seam. So that expands after you select something. It will expand to everything that is part of that selection, which is great. And now I can just click Peel, and what that does is it takes that and unfolds it. Now these polygons, it looks like they may be getting distorted a little bit, so we always got to go into Relax. So that's Tools, Relax, and I'm just going to use the default Relax by Polygons and hit Start. You can see how it starts to relax, but it also sometimes does weird pinching, so let's undo that. And so instead of just hitting Start, which will just go on forever, we're going to click Apply and just do that a couple of times before, until it starts to kind of warp there at the bottom. At that point, we're going to, all right, see how he just started pinching in on himself? So we're going to undo that 1, 2, there we go. All right, so he's good. We're happy with that. That's a good UV unwrap for that guy. He's kind of peeled out. It's perfect. So we'll just pack again to repack our pieces. All right, now we're going to come in and we're going to select this polygon on the top, and we're just going to do Peel to separate him from the rest, right? And I'm going to orbit around and select the polygon. Oops, I accidentally got out of. All right, I don't know what I hit there, so I'm going to undo, go back in the UV editor. Everything is still there. I can go into Polygon, click on this one polygon, and peel him. And so basically what I'm doing is these flat polygons that make up the top and the bottom of the column. Those are the ones that I'm going to peel those off so that they're separated all on their own. They can kind of do their own thing here. I'll peel those. And with those all peeled, I'm just going to, again, I'm going to hit Pack Custom. You'll see me doing that a lot. I'll go through, grab those pieces, and peel them off. All right. Okay, so now we got everything, all those main parts, they're kind of peeled. And what we're going to do now is come over here and grab this edge. Oops, I'm going to go into Edge. I'm going to select any one of these edges and hit Ring, which will go all the way around, and then hit Loop. And then from there, I'm actually going to convert edge selection to seams. And then I'm going to click Polygon. But I'm going to turn around and select by element so I can click and grab all of them and just peel all of those. And then I'm going to turn that off. If I click in negative space and Pack Custom, I'll pack those together. What I should do is I'm going to click Select Element here so that I can grab this entire element. I'm going to rotate this so it's not at any kind of angle. The lines are more straight. All right. Sometimes it's a little tricky. That's close enough. All right, pack that again. All right, let's do the same thing down here at the bottom. I'm going to go to Edge, grab one edge, and grab the ring, grab the loop, convert the selection over, go into Polygon, select by element, click on that element, and peel it. All right, so let's maximize this. Now, each one of these things we want to go in and we want to rotate those. All right, because when they're at an angle like that, they're taking up more UV space than they should. When we rotate them around, then they're no longer taking up more space than is necessary, and I can hit Pack Custom again. So let's grab, I'm going to grab everything except the main column and do Tools, Relax, and Relax by Polygon. Just hit Start. Turn that off. So those are already pretty much peeled exactly like they need to be. So all those chunks, they're all separated out. I think, and now everything on this column has been UV unwrapped so that they're unique. If we wanted to do any one final step, what we could try doing is first we're just going to right click on this column and say Convert to Edit Poly, and now my UVs are permanent. All right. I can come back in here and put a brand new one on and open the UV editor, and yeah, I think we're in good shape with this. One thing I could do is I could slightly adjust my padding. So if you do padding, it separates them out more. The default is just too far apart. I like to do like a 0.05 pad, so it's a slight separation between those pieces. One other thing you could potentially do, depending on how you plan to UV your object, sometimes like pieces, it's good to have them oriented the same way. And so it really depends on how you're going to UV them. But going through and manually rearranging these sometimes. But that kind of depends on if you know how you want to UV unwrap the different pieces. Right? Like I may want all of my base pieces kind of adjusted so that they all sort of sit together, right? And then pack those like pieces together, you know. Maybe we'll raise that up, bring this down. Yeah, just gonna move those. See, and now I'm going through a lot of extra trouble that I don't necessarily know if I even want to. So if I click in negative space and repack, now everything's packed together. It'll pack them, once you rotate them, it's not going to auto-rotate them for you. So at least now they're all oriented the same way, which is really all I really want. And then I'll just pad them by clicking that. So there we go. That's going through and UV unwrapping. So now we've UV unwrapped our column, and now that's ready for us to, if we wanted to, go through and do like a texture pass. So we can right-click and convert to Edit Poly to make that a permanent UV unwrap for that column.